Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Chelsea Road to Glory. And today we're bringing you Future Stars, which is always a promising promo amongst the FIFA fans. And with our Road to Glory, actually, it's also a huge favorite because there's usually a couple young players that tend to get a promo card and, end up here with us. And the first player actually we get to show you is the Future Stars icon SHEVCHENKO, which I was kind of surprised that icons were coming as Future Stars. I never thought that they would ever use the icons for this promo, specifically just because Future Stars is always about the youngsters. It's always about the young up and coming players that you sort of see on your TV every other weekend, but they're like super young and not really established. So there's that. So with SHEVCHENKO out of the way, the other icon that we actually got that I didn't get during the promo is Hernan Crespo, which the SHEVCHENKO and Crespo are always like the two Chelsea icon strikers that are always mid or worse, and this year is no exception, and these two cards are also no exception. I did the SHEVCHENKO SBC hoping that he would be a better substitute than like my Joao Felix that comes on for Kerr in like the second half or the end of the second half. But SHEVCHENKO, I'm gonna be real honest with you, was not my cup of tea. He was not great compared to our other players. Here we get to show you our red card. We did manage to get the wins necessary to upgrade our Guro Raiten to the red version, which they still do get their upgrades even though they are reds, which was confirmed with Bacha like way back when. But back to the Future Stars, we had Cole Palmer. He's one of those that I really wanted. He had a decent card. His dribbling upgrade is pretty nice. There isn't much that goes wrong with that card. Obviously, he probably would replace Kirby in our lineup. Maybe he comes on as a sub. I'm not too sure. But it would have been nice to have him. But he was very, very expensive. These cards, besides the fact that they were hard to pull, which obviously contributes to their price, they were super expensive, like in the 2 million plus range, which was absolutely insane, especially with the promo that we just finished before the Road to the Finals, which was Team of the Year. Like, those prices should not have been as expensive. Like, Cole Palmer was not a 2+ or 3+ million coin card. I'm be real honest with you. Like, a 91 rated card, he at most should have been like 1.5 mil, like at most. But he was super expensive. And actually, I can look up the price right now. He's at 3.5 million, which is too much. Obviously, once footies comes around, that price is going to tank, hopefully, and we get to try him out at the end of the game cycle. But for right now, Palmer is just immediately out of reach. We also got Lauren James in the promo. We didn't pack her, but, she was part of the first team in the promo, which, is great for us because 2 Chelsea cards leading a promo is very nice to see. Right now she's sitting around 700k, 750k, not as expensive as Palmer, but she has a great card in her own right. And her inform, I think, has like really poor dribbling, so I think she really needed this Future Stars upgrade because her dribbling on the card looks really great. Agility and balance are probably a little bit low, but everything else is freaking amazing, especially for the price that she's at. We talked about Crespo, talked about SHEVCHENKO. Probably one player who give or take may or may not apply to us, but Michael Olise, the French winger. He was technically part of the academy, if I recall correctly. So he's kind of in that same boat as Musiala. Like, if we pack him, we can use him. I think he might have applied for a Evo. I'm not entirely too sure. His card is only like 60k, which is pretty cheap. But I think for players like that, we kind of need to pack him, because Declan Rice we've packed and done an SBC. Musiala we packed during Team of the Year. Olise we didn't pack, and I don't feel like wasting that many coins on a player that technically has only been in the academy for us compared to everybody else. And the final promo, which Footbin is not doing a great job at, like, when this card came in, but Tarek Lamptey also got a Future Stars card, which you will see in the thumbnail. And he's not part of the two teams, but it looks like I'm assuming he might have came in at during the mini releases, one of those mini releases. I'm not entirely too sure. But yeah, those are the Future Stars cards right now. At the time of recording, we are in the fantasy, which will be the next video, because this like 20-something minute video is everything that we have done for Future Stars. It's a lot of stuff that we put together. I really tried to get that Cole Palmer card. I really tried. It just wasn't meant to be, fortunately for us. And yeah, there's not much to do. There's not much to do on the game, I would say. There's probably more to do during the fantasy promo, but obviously I don't want to talk about that yet. Just because this is Future Stars. What are we striving for? What are we aiming for here? This is like the middle-ish of the year in terms of the game cycle, because we have, what is it? We're approaching March. We have April, we have May, we have June. July is pushing it, and then August is kind of like that end of period where we usually get like a couple weeks break, which I might do shorts once we get closer to that, because those packs are kind of cool for opening them on web app, not really for console, just because it gets really repetitive. We did the player pick, UCL hero, base hero, trophy titans hero, just to see if we could get Cole or if we could get Ramirez. None of them came to be. Here we got a Future Stars. We got N'Golo Kante as the face, and then we get to see who we got in the back. I was always hoping for Cole Palmer or Lauren James. There's a bunch of mixed stuff here in terms of the contact. I think the tail end of the video is kind of like a more spicy content that we got during Future Stars, just because there's two SBC cards that are kind of like that good content for us, because Chelsea cards there tends to be a lot of Chelsea cards that are SBCs more than anything else. We had that Thiago Silva SBC from a long time ago, which still hasn't been able to be put into a Evo, because I really like that card and I need him to get an Evo really soon. What else? Well, I might as well just talk about the SBCs, I guess. So the first SBC that we did get was the Jackson, Nico Jackson, or Nicholas Jackson, however you want to start it off with. Jackson, we did get our SBC, which at first I was kind of bummed that it was only 87, just because our Evo is 87, but then I saw the stats and I was like, you know what, it's a better 87, and if we win the game, he gets +1 or +2, which would be fantastic. Obviously that showdown was part of the Liverpool-Chelsea game, which, you know, we ended up losing, like, I want to say really badly, because there was so many chances that we could have scored, and it just wasn't meant to be. And, you know, that's always disappointing when it comes to how we are doing, which I know it was the Carabao Cup and I know it was a final, but still, like, that we have to show up every game. And, you know, there's no room to just, like, not be as precise as we should be, even at the young age that whole team is. Like, I get that they're youngsters, but, like, every game should be you improving, like, just as a player, as a person with a monster mentality, as a person that wants to strive to be better. You should always aim to get better. And I know sometimes, you know, it's not your day. There are times where that happens, and that's understandable. But, you know, with a team like Chelsea that have such a legacy, I would say, and having to not perform at a high level, even with the youngsters, is very, very disappointing. But, you know, maybe in like 1 or 2 years they're back to where they should be, because I mean, they'll be like, what, in their like 24s, 25s, potentially 26. I mean, by that time Thiago Silva won't be there to save us anymore, which I know a lot of times he gets blamed for some of the things that happen, but, you know, in the end he's pretty solid for us, and I really hope they extend his contract. But, you know, if they don't, I kind of do want Thiago Silva to just stick around the club, maybe get a job somewhere there, you know, along the lines of the administration, maybe having to do with the players, maybe developing our defenders. That'd be nice, you know, not like he's not doing that now, but, you know, more, you know, pay him to do that, because, you know, a guy like Thiago Silva, those defensive capabilities are like embedded in you over the years. I mean, that man is old and still, like, you know, has those moments of brilliance that you need as a defender. You know, a lot of it can be luck, but a lot of it is that skill, is that need, which brings us to another defender who actually got a pundit SBC, which I never thought I would see the day where a Chelsea player got a pundit SBC, which I know was like introduced this year, I'm pretty sure, but, like, you know, the pundit SBCs was like a once in a blue moon. Like, I don't even remember who the last one is, but this time around we got one for Disasi, if I'm saying that correctly. He's the French Chelsea center back, and he had a absolutely fantastic game versus Manchester City to keep it at 1-1. There were some moments where Haaland definitely could have scored 2-3 goals to win the game, and he just didn't, which, you know, that's just how it is sometimes. Like I said, there's days where it's just not in you. It's not your day. But that game, Disasi was definitely in his moment. That game for him, like, everybody was asking, oh, how did he perform? How did he do during that game? Like, there was nothing other than that was a perfect performance by the French defender, big man. He was phenomenal. Like, watching that game, you know, you could see that man was in his zone. And, you know, that's what you need from your defense every single game. Which, you know, hopefully he you know, gets in his groove and continues to perform at that level, because that's something that Chelsea needs, a defender that gives a 10 out of 10 performance every time. You know, that should be just the standard for that club. You know, I think about Koulibaly and everything that, you know, that was like hyped up about him, and asking John Terry, like, oh, you know, can I use your number? Can I can I wear the number at such a prestigious club from one of the like best English defenders, arguably, right? Like, you know, can I use the number 26? And you know, he had the number 26, and then look where he's at. He's in the Saudi league now. He lasted like less than a full season, like that. He just came in and then left. Like nobody blinked an eye. I don't understand why someone like him would have done that. You know, maybe it was the pressure, maybe it was the team, maybe it was the atmosphere, maybe it was the culture surrounding the other players. But like, man, that was probably one of the biggest disappointments, I would say, from a guy like Koulibaly. Like, that man was Napoli's like rock for the longest period of time, and I thought when we got him in, he was gonna be him, and he just wasn't. You know, he scored that one goal off that corner. You know, we were just in it. We thought, you know, man, he's gonna be great for us, and then nothing. Which, you know, this is the tough part of being a Chelsea fan right now, is the ups and downs of the season and the upcoming season and the previous seasons. It's just like there's so many downs than ups that it becomes very difficult to continue to watch them day in and day out. But you know, we do our best. I mean, we're just spectators, right? The only thing we can do is watch them perform. This icon, I really wish it was a better icon that we got there, but you know, Xavi for the rating, I guess, is what it is. This should be this is the Showdown SBC, which is pretty easy to complete. But back to what I was saying about Chelsea, I think that the sun will shine on us again. I truly believe it. We just need time, which, you know, is kind of gone against traditionally what has happened with the club with all the changes and quickness. But you know, I don't know if I back Pochettino all the way, but I will say that this squad, this group of players, I think if you give them time, they will perform. You know, give them 2-3 years. If they're not on top where they should be, then you know, that's the time that they can move on to other places. Some of them have a very long contract, which might be a little bit of a challenge to let them move on. But I think with the age group that we have right now, I think 2-3 years is a good enough indicator to see, like, hey, this guy is good, we should keep him. This guy is not so great, we should loan him out or sell him. This guy is a great backup, you know, all that stuff. You know, good teams have great depth, which means that good teams have a reason to keep bench players around, which is definitely something that we need to have, like, constantly. You know, we can't have a top player playing in our starting 11 and then our backup is just like not up to par, which is the challenging part for a manager. How do you juggle your good player and your other good player and making sure that they are, you know, satisfied with their role at the club? You know, it's like the Julian Alvarez and Erling Haaland. Like, Haaland's really, really good, and Alvarez, I think, is good in his own right. That, you know, how do you keep them both happy? You know, give Alvarez his time, give Erling Haaland his time. You know, that's a question for Pep to answer. But you know, Chelsea, who do we have? We have Jackson up top. Broja went to Fulham on loan, which every time I think about Fulham, I just think about, man, why can't we just get Willian back? Like, he might not be the same lightning bolt that he was a couple years ago, but man, I would love to have his technicality on the ball for our club right now. Like, you know, Sterling sometimes messes things up, and Mudryk sometimes messes things up. And Sterling, for his age, you know, you would think he would stop doing that, but there were so many moments, even at Manchester City, where he would just like fluff certain things or score goals that just made no sense. But I think Mudryk, he really needs time, but he looks like he wants to train hard. He looks like he wants to be good for us. So I would say I'm gonna give him these 2-3 years, and then after that, I think either it'll be time to move on or keep him into the team. But here we have our pundit SBC, which, you know, the dribbling and passing are kind of low for an 80 rated center back. I would have hoped that he had somewhere near like the 80s in terms of passing and dribbling, because I mean, look at that dribbling and balance and agility is kind of low. You would hoped that there would be a little bit more, considering he's 6'3", makes it difficult to turn. And so, what do you call it? His pace is, you know, for 82, you know, it's pretty decent. Give him a shadow. That 88 defending goes up super massively, which I think I did compare to Thiago Silva, and I think Thiago Silva beats him in like some other categories, which is why he's still our right center back for the meantime. Plus, Khalid really just like fills in that gap. Like, I don't think Disasi would get rid of Khalid that easily. So for right now, this is our team. This is what we are ending the episode on. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed Future Stars, and I hope you are enjoying the new fantasy promo that's currently going on right now. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.